One of the worst phrases in the English language is to say, I can't. I can't get abs. I can't eat good. I can't go run. It's too hard. I can't do this. As the scripture says, life and death is in the power of the tongue. Anything you speak comes into fruition. However you think of yourself in your heart is who you are. As he thinketh, so he is. When you understand that your words have power to literally affect people's moods, I don't think people understand how powerful that is. Even music itself can get you hyped up, can make you sad, can make you joyful, can make you cry, etc., etc., can get you in a state of focus. It's literally shifting your spirit, and that is powerful. Today's topic is going to be about self talk. How do you talk to yourself? A lot of us men that are ambitious, our self talk is always going to be very degrading, derogatory towards ourselves. We tend to beat ourselves up, not give ourselves credit, not allow ourselves to feel our wins. It's been about 2 months now that I've been journaling. And honestly, it's one of the best things that I've ever done. To allow myself to express myself through a piece of paper in a notebook consistently every day, for the most part, it's allowed me to see inside my inner world, right? Your face, your body's always going to express how you're feeling, but sometimes you don't understand your emotions. Sometimes you don't understand why you think the way you think, what you know. You forget. You're a man. Certain questions will bring out certain answers out of you. But when you journal, when you take time to sit in the field, you get a new level of understanding. You begin to be able to see outside of yourself and truly understand what's downloaded in your programming in your subconscious mind. Because a lot of times our consciously we know things, right? We may know that every Wednesday we have to take out the trash. But yet we are there Thursday morning under like there we are Thursday morning realizing we forgot to take out the trash. That's something conscious. You make that conscious effort to do that. As you build that habit up, it goes into your subconscious and you just naturally do it. You might even ask yourself the next day, did I do it? And then you remember that, yeah, it did happen. When you journal, when you sit in the field, you allow yourself to understand who you truly are. And that's what I've realized as I've been journaling. There are things that I know, but I don't consciously think about because it's been already installed in my programming. It's been installed in my brain. So as I'm writing out and I'm making, content ideas and, meditating on different scriptures, I begin to remember little things along the journey and I begin to reflect on things and certain time periods. You're always going to remember the difficult times, the hard times, but you're never going to remember the little things in those seasons. And what journaling has allowed me to do is remember certain things that I haven't thought about in a long time. And it's allowed me to reflect and say, okay, when did this happen to me? Where did this thought come from? And it's allowed me to question what's in my programming, what's in my mind, you know. Something that I've realized is that when you begin to question yourself and you do it through a piece of paper and you have different prompts or whatever, you allow yourself to brain dump. You allow yourself to unload the RAM per se. we're like computers. We get overloaded. We're overstimulated. The world, there's always things going on. We're on social media and we see things, and we allowed ourselves to release all that into a piece of paper. And we begin to, like I said, understand ourselves. And it's one of the best habits that I recently developed. I started to see myself as a writer, which is how I was able to develop this habit. I began to see myself even as a poet, and I began to say, well, shit, like, where did this even come from? And I've always had a natural inclination towards writing. Like, even as a kid, I just loved to write. I enjoyed understanding languages, understanding English, and it was just something that I grew up on. And it's funny because even my sister is into writing herself and into introspection, doing the inner work, understanding yourself. Most people are afraid of their thoughts. They're afraid to be alone because when they're alone, that's when their demons come out. Most people like to keep themselves busy so they don't have to face up problems that they're running into. They'd rather run from it. Most people are avoidant. They don't like confrontation. When you begin a journal and you begin to question the problems that you're having, you begin to reflect on your reality, your life progress is going to go through the roof. You're going to be able to build contentment and joy and understand why things are happening. You're going to be able to understand your emotions, your feelings, and you're going to be able to sit in the field, as I like to say. And that comes from the scripture where one of the patriarchs, Isaac, is sitting in the field meditating. And that scripture stuck out to me because he took the time to actually meditate, to be by himself in solitude, to think, whatever he was thinking about. And I applied that to my own life. I took time to be by myself, to meditate. And meditating is to, focus on something. So when I journal, it allows me to focus on my inner world. And it allows me to focus on the problems that I'm having, why I'm feeling certain things, whether it's discouragement, you know. I'm able to reflect. I'm able to, like I said, understand myself. I'm able to understand situations that are happening around me. And sometimes when you read back the things that you're saying to yourself, you're like, man, that's honestly dumb. Like you begin to see that your mind lies to you to protect you because your mind is always going to try to protect you. Your mind, your CNS, your nervous system is going to make you feel certain type of ways to protect you, right? Your spirit is always what's going to push you. And to really become someone who rules over their own body, you have to have a strong spirit because your body more oftentimes than not is not going to allow you to do certain things, you know. For a while for me it was approach women, cold approach as they call it now. My spirit was willing but my flesh was weak. I would tense up, I would shake, which was ridiculous because I've never been afraid to talk to people, and honestly I'm good at it. So it was very like revealing the first time around that, oh, in my programming, in the back of my head, I feel a certain way about women, or I may, pedal- pedestalize them without realizing it. So it allowed me, when I journal, to understand why the hell this was going on because it was driving me insane, you know. And I'm now able to find the root of problems when I write it out. I'm able to figure out why things are happening. I'm like, okay, I could trace this back to this event when I felt like this, you know. And I just wanted to do a quick video on journaling. It's like a 2 month update and what it's done for me. And I've even kept like a notebook now in my pocket just to write different ideas. And even then, like I've noticed that it's allowed me to express my ideas and not just keep it on my mind, constantly thinking about it, ruminating on it over and over and over again. It's allowed me to release it, to leave it alone, even prayers. It allows me to see how I articulate myself, the way I speak, you know, through the pen and paper. So I implore you guys to start journaling, start reflecting, you know, start doing the introspective work, the inner work. Find out why you feel the way you feel. Find out why you think the way you think. Because you're going to find that most of your thoughts are not even original. I did make a video on how to create independent thought. I would check that out. As you reflect in your journal, you're going to begin to realize, damn, most of these things are not even from my own experience. They're from other people. And when you journal and you see that written out and you trace it, you're going to be free from any negative thoughts you've had, any limiting beliefs, and you're going to be able to understand, oh, okay, this is what I'm programmed with. Now let me reprogram myself through consistent affirmation and action. For me, my affirmations are not self exalting. I always give credit to the Most High because He is the one that gives us gifts. So I may say something along the lines of, the Most High gave me discipline, the Most High gave me wealth, things like that, because it is true. The Lord does give to all. I hope this video finds you well, and I hope that it inspires you to start journaling, to start understanding your inner world, to start understanding who you are.